Time now for our rants and raves, starting with you, Dan Kennedy.
I have a rant for people, and I don't know who exactly was filing this complaint, but people who apparently complained bitterly enough to the New York Times that Will Shortz, the crossword puzzle editor, speaking of puzzles, was forced to apologize because the answer to a question was beaner.
Pitch to the head in
Yeah, pitch to the head, which, by the way, it isn't. It's a beanball.
It is.
But nevertheless,
beaned. I got beaned. Yeah.
Nevertheless, apparently it's also considered offensive to
a pejorative to
Mexicans.
Yes.
Oh. Will Shortz said he'd never heard that. Yeah. I'd never heard
Me
that. I think that it was good that he said, okay, now I know something, we won't do it again. But it also just seems like kind of an overreaction.
But he has defended the use of these kinds of words, say if they are legitimate words. Like he used the example of chink. Now that can also be, there's a chink in the armor, but it's also a pejorative. And then he used another example of, proceed carefully. It was a go okay. Well, gook is a pejorative towards, Asian.
Well, he also said he's rethinking that policy, which is
But I don't think he would have caught beaner, because if you'd never heard of something, you wouldn't realize that it was.
I'd never heard it.
No.
Well, again, you would catch it if we have diversified newsrooms and people are looking at it. Someone could tell him, just saying,
All right, Dan.
So I have a rave for drone photojournalist Johnny Miller. First of all, I didn't know there was such a thing as a drone photojournalist, but it makes sense. What he has done is he paid for it himself for 6 months to travel to the African continent to focus on the divide between the haves and the have-nots. He takes video, but he also takes these still shots, and he shows these clear housing disparity lines, where on one end you will see shacks, and on the other end you'll see nice, beautiful green lawns. And so he started off, again, paying for it himself. And now he has gotten some grant money, so he's going to other places like Karachi, Pakistan, also Mexico City. Again, showing some of this video from above, from a drone, but also these snapshots.
I was looking at those. What does he intend to do with it?
And I was just going there. I'm glad you asked. And are you going to change anything? We all know that there are people who have a lot of money and live in nice homes and others who don't. He really wants to spark a conversation.
It's awareness.
It's awareness, right? You see something and you know it's there, but when you see that photo, it's so dramatic. I remember when I was in India and there are the slums right there, and then one of the wealthiest people, his home is right across the street. And I thought, that is amazing. In these photos, you can see that kind of thing. We have a conversation. The more we talk about something, the more we can find solutions for it. So, a rave for him.
Yeah, interesting. I'm interested to see the website and check out some of the pictures and videos.
It's great.
Yeah, it's
great stuff.
All right, Callie.
I hate to be a prude, so let me just say that. So I'm minding my own business on New Year's Eve, fell asleep before midnight, wake up, and then I turn on just to see what the people are doing, the anchors on these shows. So I landed on CNN, and there before me were just drunks who allegedly are anchors. I'm sorry. I love a fine champagne. Don't misunderstand me. I love an adult beverage. But I don't need to see you slopping all over the microphones and yapping about, woo-zoo, I'm having Tito's. Let's take a look at the video so you know I am not exaggerating.
What are you drinking there, Don?
A little Tito's soda. Tito's soda.
Hey, guys.
Tito's soda, that's my preference. We love the Tito's. They send me a T-shirt because I talk about it so much.
This is not a good idea.
Oh, yeah! Cheers. First one of the night. Delicious. I feel better already.
Okay, help me with that.
Totally unprofessional. Completely unprofessional.
I'm a little shocked.
Absolutely.
I'm shocked. This has been going on for not like this, but Don Lemon did this.
Oh, last year I was
done as well.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Who's the reporter doing the beer thing with this funnel?
Randy Kay.
Goodness. Yeah, she does stuff for Anderson's show.
This is why God created the Three Stooges marathon on
That's
New
right. They didn't have it this year, did they?
Have it this year?
Oh, yeah, they most certainly did.
Twilight Zone, you guys.
Oh, man.
That's
I just
Twilight
think
Zone.
it's
some of those.
Yeah, it's so that's a definite rant, and I think it's disgusting, and I hope that now seeing themselves this way, some of those executives will take a look. We can all have fun. I don't mind good jokes. I don't mind, and as I said, I don't mind a toast at midnight. But come on. And you know, he said Tito so much they've sent him the T-shirt.
A T-shirt, I know.
That
I was
he's
wondering.
gonna
I think it's more than a
announce
T-shirt.
proudly?
Yeah.
I'm
Really,
with you on that.
really,
Yeah.
really.
And Ryan Seacrest stays sober. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
you've got serious news people getting loaded, and
Yeah.
the entertainers.
Mike, what do you got?
All right, a rave for EW Scripps Company, which is bringing back. They made the announcement short while ago, but it's coming back in May. Court TV, gavel to gavel coverage of trials in this country has been gone for about 10 years.
Yes.
It will be live coverage. I've always felt like one of the most compelling things on television is a live trial. Sure, it gets sensational, but from personally anchoring the O.J. Simpson trial, the Nanny trial, a bunch of other New England trials, there's nothing like that.
Put them out of business. Every 24-hour cable operation.
But now they got Trump.
But what trials are they going to cover? Because if there's a really good trial, CNN and all those people just cover it too.
I wonder whether they would.
Not
Wall to wall. I think that
yeah.
they did with O.J.
Yes.
Whether that would still hold is a good question. I don't think that they would make that kind of programming decision now because we have a different political environment now that attracts and sucks the air out of the room and all the coverage out of the room. So I look forward to that. I love it, and I can't wait to see Court TV come back. Yeah. And Nancy Grace, I understand, will not be part of it.
Thank God.
All right, well, we were just talking about Netflix earlier. And we were kind of dumping on them, or some of us were. Anyway, I have a rave for Netflix. This week, they actually put out a notice saying, don't do this. So there's a movie out with Sandra Bullock called Bird Box. Here's a little clip of that where Sandra Bullock is leading a girl and a boy out of a dangerous situation because anybody who sees these monster figures gets, this is her actually leading this kid out. And then other people are following her lead and walking around malls and in their houses with their blindfolds on. And
well, there's some question that Netflix did that as a wink, wink, like, don't do this.
So that more people will, right.
But it's on Netflix, but don't do it.
Oh, I don't know.
You 45
because
million.
if you remember Train Spotting a few years ago, when people were laying on the railroad
I
tracks and
remember
getting
that.
killed. So.
Yeah, I'm not saying that maybe there wasn't some altruism, but the week before they had noted 45 million people were watching.
Well, they won't be seeing it in Saudi Arabia.
That is it for our show.